Hi, I'm Carol Andrews for another episode of Southwest TV News. Here are some of the stories we've been working on for today's show. Traffic is increasing on the roadways this time of the year as more motorists are out on the highway. Scenes such as this traffic accident north of Swift Current over the weekend are a reminder of how quickly events can change while on the roadway. Parks Canada has announced a new management plan for Fort Walsh and Cypress Hills Massacre National Historic Sites. Teresa Sokyrka's Trans-Canada tour made a stopover in Swift Current as the Saskatchewan-born songstress promoted her latest CD, Prairie Winds, to the urban ground crowd. It was another busy weekend at the racetrack as 265 participants from across Saskatchewan traveled to Swift Current for the CMRC sanctioned race. Thanks for joining us here today. Now through May the 20th is Canada Road Safety Week, and RCMP are reminding you to obey the rules of the road. Traffic is increasing on the roadways this time of the year as more motorists are out on the highway. From individuals hauling farm equipment to tourists and the general public, scenes such as this traffic accident north of Swift Current over the weekend are a reminder of how quickly events can change while on the roadway. And while the investigation into the single vehicle accident is still underway, motorists are advised to always be aware of their surroundings and follow the rules of the road. Constable Mike Young of the Southwest Regional Traffic Services Department says there's a number of contributing factors to collisions on Saskatchewan roadways each year.
The big factors that we're finding are, of course, impaireds. We're seeing an increased number of impaireds on Saskatchewan's highways. Occupant restraints, seat belts. This is a secondary causation with regards to fatals on Saskatchewan highways. We're also seeing aggressive drivers out there. This has included results of speed, failing to stop at a stop sign, going through yellow or red lights. We're also having to deal with drug factors is also in play with impaireds. It's just not the liquor, it's also the drugs.
RCMP further encourage you to refrain from making calls on your cell phone or texting while behind the wheel.
Distracted driving, we found, is a major factor with some of our collisions on our highways. As soon as you start texting on the highway, you're taking your eyes off the roadway. As soon as you end up, we're looking at 3 or 4 seconds, but that is enough to end up increasing your chances of being involved in a collision by 40 times. This is a behavior that's needing to be changed. Granted, it's part of our lives today. Technology, these little handheld devices, but we as drivers need to realize that we need to be focusing on our highway, what's in front of you, what can come up in front of you. Things happen so quickly. If your eyes are off that highway for more than 3 seconds, like I said, those rates increase for a collision.
According to data from the RCMP, driver distraction contributes to approximately 4 million vehicle collisions in North America each year, with impaired driving slated as the leading cause of criminal death in Canada.
Trust the team at Pinnacle Financial to help you reach your financial goals. Whether you require personal or corporate income tax planning, bookkeeping, management consulting, or full-service mortgage brokering, our expert team has you covered. Contact us today to begin your climb to the top.
Positive changes are on the horizon for several Southwest Saskatchewan tourism destinations. We have more in this report. Parks Canada has announced a new management plan for Fort Walsh and Cypress Hills Massacre National Historic Sites. According to Canada Parks officials, the new plan is a guiding document to set the course for these 2 locations over the next 10 years.
So each park and site across the country do have management plans because that sets the direction. So we would have began the management planning process a couple of years ago, and it is it's a process by which we are consulting with the public as well as with our stakeholders and interested parties and getting their input as well to see where the 2 sites should go.
Legatt further adds the new guidelines will assist park management and staff in crafting the most memorable experience for park visitors.
The interpretation and the visitor experience programs at Fort have always been very high quality and have always been very engaging. And so it's a continuation of that, but certainly the management plan's emphasis is on ensuring that we become a must-see and must-come-back-to place.
The months of May and June are generally busy with school groups touring the sites, with an array of tourists from around the world coming through during the summer months. 250,000 visitors are exposed to the amenities of the Cypress Hills Interprovincial Park each year, with approximately 20,000 stopping in to visit Fort Walsh. The following is a paid political commentary by David Anderson, MP for Cypress Hills Grasslands, and does not in any way reflect the opinion of Southwest TV News.
Welcome to the May Anderson Report. Natural resources are critical to our province and its future. As one of Canada's leading energy producers, if we're going to continue to grow our province, we must be able to sell our products. Lately, the House of Commons Committee on Natural Resources has been studying the issue of market diversification and energy. The question we've asked is a simple one. Is it important for us to diversify our energy markets, or can we continue to rely on one main customer, the United States? The message we've heard loud and clear is that energy markets are changing rapidly. The U.S. has discovered oil and gas and is committed to developing them, becoming energy independent, and selling their excess production around the world. Instead of being mainly a customer, they will be a competitor. This has highlighted just how critical it is that energy-producing areas such as Alberta and Saskatchewan develop new markets. If we do not, the negative financial impact will be huge, and it will be nationwide. We need new markets, especially in the growing economies of Asia. Pipelines need to be built south, west, and even east if we are to have that market access. Western access is especially critical, and the timelines are tight. Those who would try to stop this are working directly against Saskatchewan and Canada's best interests. Saskatchewan's just gotten on its feet. What we're hearing in our committee is that we can move ahead if we develop resources and markets, but without new markets, we will be stopped in our tracks.
Saskatchewan's own Teresa Sokyrka treated local coffee patrons to a Saturday night concert in Swift Current. Our Southwest TV News crew was there, and we bring you these highlights. Teresa Secureka's Trans-Canada tour made a stopover in Swift Current as the Saskatchewan-born songstress promoted her latest CD, Prairie Winds, to the urban ground crowd. The 23-day tour will see Sokyrka playing a range of venues from coast to coast, from pubs to coffee houses and house concerts. Accompanied by Michelle Saburin, Sokyrka entertained the crowd with a range of selections from the new CD, a project which was inspired by the prairies and recorded in Madrid.
Well, I met somebody on a cruise ship last January, and he was from Spain. And him and I musically really got along, and I realized I should really go to another country and maybe record an album. So I went to Madrid and scoped out all of these different gems and found the musicians that I really wanted to play with after a couple of weeks, and then got into the studio. Was done within 5 days. It was just like in and out. It was perfect.
The CD is filled with songs of life experiences and her desire to be back on the prairies after living abroad and working on cruise ships over the past year. All original songs, including this one co-written with Ron Sexsmith. And as far as her future aspirations, this former Canadian Idol runner-up says she plans to take time promoting her new album, with hopes of crossing over into the U.S. to expand her audience.
It's nice to concentrate on a project that I'm really in love with, and this album I worked really hard on it, and I'm really happy to be at this place in my life. I feel like my 30s musically are going to be really good ones. It's all about challenging yourself, and I think that me as a musician, the only way that I'm going to get better is sort of trying to do every sort of genre of music. Maybe I'll have an R&B album one day, or like a total country album. The sky's the limit.
Prairie Winds by Teresa Sokyrka will be officially released on June 4th and would make an excellent addition to your CD library of great Canadian singers. Another exciting season of motocross racing is underway, and the Swift Current Club recently hosted a provincial event. It was another busy weekend at the racetrack as 265 participants from across Saskatchewan traveled to Swift Current for the CMRC sanctioned race. Riders ages 4 through 50 plus took to the track for a full day of competition in junior and pro categories. 19-year-old Cole Gahn of Swift Current races in the MX Pro division and has been passionate about the sport since he first started at the age of 4.
I don't know, I guess it's just the excitement and the feeling you get after you're done the race. Pretty rewarding.
And with a busy summer ahead with 9 rounds of provincials and 2 national competitions in Edmonton and Calgary, Cole was pleased to be competing for the hometown crowd.
No, it's pretty cool. It's nice to get some of the friends and family out and nice hometown race.
A family outing which is enjoyed by many involved in the Saskatchewan Motocross Association throughout the season.
Yeah, it's a really good family sport. Myself, I have 6 in my family, and I have 2 riders. One, my older son doesn't race anymore, but he still comes when he's not working, and he helps out with, tallying just general duties around the track that need to be done. So yeah, it's a full family sport. We've got all kinds of kids coming, and it's great for kids.
The CMRC season runs through September, with several additional heats set for Swift Current. Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at mylocaltv.ca. And be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.